going on, everybody? Welcome to the late night live stream presented by the Dose Media Network. I'm Ben Hauver, joined by Joey Carrion. Final live stream of the season. Man, how you feeling? It's been a long year.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a long year for sure. Just ready to talk about this disgusting slate.
Yeah. You got your motivation knowledge in check. You got your info on who's going to be starting, who's going to be sitting, all this nonsense we have to deal with this week.
I mean, maybe.
I guess we'll find out. More importantly, before we get to that, the last time that we did a live stream on a Saturday night when there was football on, you shipped everything. You banked everything for like 1,400, hit a couple slips. So you got anything live right now that you could hit?
Yeah, I got a couple things live. I got 1 6-pick that's live. I need Chig to get another catch to get over the push. I need Evan Ingram to get some more receiving yards, and I need Traylon Burks to get some more receiving yards as well. So if we could hit that live, that'd be dope. That'd be for $250. I put $10 on it. Then I also have another 4-legger that has a couple hockey guys going that I included with some NFL that I liked earlier in Christian Kirk catches, and I have that going as well. But that game starts in like 7 minutes here. So
word Christian Kirk catches hit. That was free.
Super free.
Yeah. Kwasi in the chat, yo. Could we shout out our boy Kwasi here for a minute? This man, for anybody who doesn't know, shipped not only first place in the drafters early best ball, but second place as well for 15 bands. Absolutely
Huge.
legendary
Huge.
shit. Yo, shout out to Kwasi, man. I mean, goddamn. What an accomplishment.
Crazy.
What a guy.
Just absolutely insane.
Well, let's talk about this slate, man. I mean, let's see if we can cook up a way to win 15 bands of our own. Starting off at the quarterback position. It looks like the top guys are going to be the most heavily utilized in week 18. And for good reason. A lot of this mid-tier guys don't have motivation. Guys aren't going to be playing full games. And then the guys that we do know are going to be playing full games at the lower end are just guys that we don't have interest in playing. So Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, that's where you're going in cash games. One of the two. I mean, we've had some time to think about it since we recorded on Thursday. I think we were both leaning Jalen Hurts at the time. Do you still feel that way now?
Yeah, I mean, I just think Jalen Hurts is in a more significant game now at this point, and he's $200 less and, arguably has a higher ceiling than Josh Allen. So Jalen Hurts, 8,200, in my opinion, is the cash game quarterback, and he's going to be the highest owned quarterback, but Josh Allen is going to be right there as well. So Jalen Hurts, if you're playing cash games this week, I mean, God bless you. I will not be doing that. But Jalen Hurts is the cash game quarterback.
Yep. No, I totally agree with that. Although on the Bills situation, which is still interesting for tournaments, if you want to go the Josh Allen route, they still seem to have some motivation, even though the Chiefs did win today. Because if I understand correctly, they would still get a home game against the Bengals if they were to win this game and the Bengals were to win tomorrow. Both teams motivated for those reasons in terms of seeding.
Yeah, so the Bills still have a very high level of motivation in this spot, especially with the Bengals also playing tomorrow against the Ravens. The Bengals have already locked up the AFC North, but their game is also very important due to like home field advantage or whatever. But the Bills still want to lock up the 2 seed at this point, and the Bills are obviously coming into this game very motivated. Outside of the whole DeMar Hamlin situation, and that's probably an added boost for them as well. So Josh Allen, 8,400. He's a good play. Definitely can go there in tournaments. If you want to go there in cash, I don't mind it, but these are obviously the 2 best plays on the board, and I mean, they're really the only quarterbacks that I have any type of interest in this week.
I had a Patriots specific question for you. You know, you are the Patriots guru here. And if I recall correctly, we've talked at points about the Patriots severely struggling with rushing quarterbacks. This is more of a props question, but Josh Allen's line on Prize Picks 38.5 rushing looks pretty interesting to me in this spot.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on the Patriots and what they're susceptible to give up to rushing quarterbacks?
Yeah, I mean, I like that, and Josh Allen's rushing upside is obviously extremely high. They just don't have the linebackers to keep up with any mobile quarterback. So Josh Allen, I don't mind that line. That it's definitely probably a good bet to the over for sure. Just the only problem is that the Bills are just going to steamroll the Patriots. So
Mm.
might not get a Josh Allen ceiling game here.
True. That could definitely happen. I mean, I think the Bills are coming out to play in for Hamlin here. So I mean, I think this is going to be a 40 burger dropped right on New England's head, but we'll see how that goes. In terms of the quarterback position on DraftKings, who are some other guys that you would be interested in playing for tournaments outside of Hurts and Allen? Really the only two guys that I would even consider cash viable.
I mean, none. Is that an acceptable answer?
I think that's an
I
acceptable answer.
I mean, this slate is horrible. Like they're like the top quarterbacks. If I'm playing, I want just the exposure to them. Probably, I would include Burrow in that as well. The Chargers are probably going to rest players. We obviously Tua's out, Lamar's out. The Cowboys, maybe mid game pull their starters. Same thing with the Vikings. Same thing with the Bucks. They'll probably get in a couple drives, maybe a quarter max. The Seahawks look good because they're obviously pretty motivated. The Giants are starting backups. Um, I mean, maybe Russell Wilson against Chargers backups at home is
Yeah.
probably the play. But I mean, I think you just play Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen and you move on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I said Hertz was my pick for cash games over Allen, and he's my pick for tournaments. And we'll get to this a little bit at wide receiver, but you can stack him up with his best stacking partners at pretty low ownership. So, I mean, I feel very good about going to Jalen Hurts in tournaments. I like Burrow outside of those two guys just for a different roster construction. You're saving, about 1,000 off of salary. And then, Russ is kind of interesting to me as well. He's so cheap at 5,400. They have a lot of offensive talent, and the Chargers are probably resting the vast majority of their starters. So this could be just a game where the Broncos close things out on a positive note after selling for the entire season.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that narrative.
All right, let's transition here to the running back position, where the highest owned, most utilized player this week is going to be Kenneth Walker. Seattle is they're winning, you're in here. All right, playing against the Rams. Kenneth Walker is 6,400. He's projecting as the best value on the slate, and he's going to be the highest owned running back on the slate, coming off of 2 consecutive 100-yard rushing games. They're going to put their playoff hopes, right in the belly of Kenneth Walker here, toting the rock.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the best play on the slate just when you take into account game context and the Seahawks, playing for a playoff spot in here and his overall touch opportunity, and he has pass catching upside as well. So 6.4K for Kenneth Walker. I mean, it looks good, and you're probably just locking him into one of your running back spots in cash.
Yep. What's up, Josh? Welcome to the final stream of the season. Some of the other running backs outside of Kenneth Walker, I mean, I think that he's a lock, and after that, you can go in a couple different directions in terms of cash games. Some of the other guys that I think are in play, Cam Akers, Najee Harris in that same 6K price range. If you want to save a little bit of money, Tyler Algier looks like he's going to be extremely chalky at 5,600. I think the thought process there is just that, even with Cordero Patterson working in, Algier saw 20 plus touches again last week. His workload has just been so good, and Tampa Bay is already, come out and basically said they're resting starters. So Brady and the offensive guys, they'll probably play for a quarter, maybe even, a drive. And then I think a lot of backups are going to be coming in. So it's a game where I think that Algier should see touches and not be facing, the full force of what the Bucs defense is, as they're playing second stringers. So, Akers, Najee, Algier, who do you like out of this group as an RB2?
Yeah, I mean, I think Najee looks the best, as a home favorite. ton of touch upside, obviously pass catching upside. And this game should be a close competitive game. And he's been solid over the last month of the season. So Najee Harris, I think, is a solid floor option where this is probably a week where you want to prioritize floor and cash games for sure. Algier looks okay, and he's close. He's close to 1,000. He needs 100 yards, which would be huge for him as a rookie running back. Looking to become the starter next year. So Algier is probably going to get 20 touches. I think he's okay, 5,600. He's obviously going to be chalky. I don't mind Algier at all. But I would go Najee 1, and then I think Cam Akers is right there as well. He's going to get touches no matter what. So I think Cam Akers would be 2 and Algier 3 for me.
Yeah, I mean, Akers is my 1-for-1 pivot over Kenneth Walker in tournaments. You're getting about a 50% ownership discount, and I think it plays into the game script that I'm expecting. I mean, my biggest take for this week is that you want to log on if you're legal in a state with sports betting, and you want to parlay the Rams money line and the Lions money line, because the Rams are going to beat the Seahawks, and then it's going to come down to that Sunday night football game, Lions Packers, and the Lions ain't losing that game. I'm telling you right now, they're not losing that game. Goff, small hands, I don't give a fuck. He's going into Lambeau, and he's going to lead the Lions to a playoff berth. And that all starts with the Rams winning, and that all starts with Cam Akers having a big game for the 3rd consecutive week. He's been on a real hot stretch here. So I just like, talking myself into that narrative. So I like Cam Akers quite a bit, 200-yard rushing games in a row, big ceiling as we saw against Denver. For cash games, though, I agree with you, Najee Harris. And honestly, like, the percentage chance for the Steelers to make the playoffs is low, but like what they need to happen is like highly reasonable. All they need to do is win this game against Cleveland, very doable. And they need the Patriots to lose against the Bills. That's an expectation. And they need the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson to lose to the Jets. I would say that's an expectation too. So really, I think the Steelers have a super solid shot. They're going to be giving it their all. Najee's had a great workload since coming out of the bye, at home favorites. Like, this spot's really good. I think Najee's kind of being under talked about this week, as people are going to play Algier and they'll play some of these other guys we'll talk about in a minute. But Najee to me is right there with Walker, sort of in the top tier of running back plays this week.
Yeah, no, I think Najee is a really good play this week. And I'd be comfortable playing both of them in cash. And I think that's pretty much it for the mid-range. At the top of the player pool, I mean, Chargers are going to rest. Giants are going to rest. Nick Chubb, I guess, is okay at 7,500. The Browns are still going to play, but obviously they don't have anything to play for. The Niners game could probably become irrelevant, so you're probably not playing CMC, especially with Eli Mitchell and Deebo Samuel both back. So I think in cash, you're just playing 2 or 3 of these guys in the mid-range, and then you're calling it a day.
No interest in the like Jonathan Williams or, what's dude's name for the Giants? Gary Brightwell, like these guys for teams that are going to be resting starters. Washington doesn't have B-Rob, doesn't have Gibson. So they're going to be splitting touches between Jonathan Williams and Jarrett Patterson. Williams is 4,300 and he's projecting to be one of the 3 highest owned running backs on the slate. Do you have any interest there?
I mean, I think Jonathan Williams is interesting, but I think they'll probably work in Jarrett Patterson some, and I don't think that he's going to be a full workhorse, but he's okay. Gary Brightwell, no, and the other guys you mentioned, no. I think you're just choosing 2 or 3 out of Akers, Harris, Walker, Algier, and then I think you're moving on.
For tournaments, any interest in CMC? He's projecting pretty well this week, 9,300. Obviously, you're paying quite a bit for him. I mean, early in the week, it looked like Justin Jefferson was going to be the chalky, high-priced option. I don't necessarily know that that's the case anymore, especially with mounting conversation about them, not necessarily just pushing him to go for this insane record and get like 200 yards and probably playing more likely, for the Super Bowl, which is what the team truly cares about in the end.
Yeah, I mean, CMC is not projecting that well now, just because of the risk that this game will end up being meaningless at a certain point.
Yeah.
And like I said, Eli Mitchell's back. He'll probably get some opportunity. Deebo Samuel's back. He'll probably get some opportunity. So I don't think you could play CMC.
All right. Anybody else at the running back position that you're interested in? A couple names that stand out to me would be like Ramondre at 6,700. I know Damian Harris is back. Damian Harris outtouched Ramondre last week, but 6,700 for somebody with a ceiling like Ramondre has, I think is pretty good. And that is the way that you want to beat the Bills. I had Ramondre written down. I had Joe Mixon and Miles Sanders written down as tournament options.
Yeah, Ramondre's okay. I think Damian Harris is probably a better GPP pivot though, for sure. Especially since he's a little bit cheaper, as we can see. He's 5,300, and he'd be the pivot off of the chalk in this range. And then I don't know. For me, I'd probably look at. I mean, Latavius is projecting well, 5,400. I don't mind Latavius at all. The Bengals guys, maybe J.K. Dobbins, 5,700. He always has the potential to break off, long runs and score touchdowns and maybe get you the 100-yard bonus at 5.7. But other than that, I guess like Miles Sanders potentially. But even then, I think that's a little risky. I think that they'll probably end up pulling starters as well at some point in that game. So.
True. I could see them leaning a little bit on Sanders, even though Jalen Hurts is back in this game. Like, we don't know that the shoulder is 100% healthy. Ooh, Dobbs pick. Sorry, that's live action. I mean, it's actually like a play or two behind, but
yeah.
Sheesh. I do like Miles Sanders. I think they could keep it on the ground a little bit more and take it easy on Jalen Hurts' shoulder, even though they should have a bye to rest him up. Wide receiver position. Let's talk about the top end, man, because I think that sorting out the top tier wide receivers is where the conversation gets interesting. Obviously, we have Justin Jefferson at 9,100, elite matchup. The Bears defense is hurt. They're, giving up on the season. Essentially, Justin Fields isn't playing. Nathan Peterman is starting at quarterback for them. He's 194 yards away from setting the record, something that we all know means something to him. But the question is whether or not the team prioritizes the health of their superstar player over him hitting a benchmark record-breaking number, which I ultimately believe that they do. So I don't know. How do you feel about Jefferson in comparison to guys like Jamar Chase and Stephon Diggs at the top end that I think will also be big popular options this week?
Yeah, I think Jamar Chase and Diggs are definitely just better plays all around. They don't have the bench risk, and I do think that the Vikings probably bench their starters at some point. They're facing a Nathan Peterman-led Bears team that's just giving up on the season. They don't want to, increase their draft stock or risk their pick, and they also have some upside towards the number 1 overall pick if the Texans can come out and beat the Colts. So, I mean, this should be an easy win for Minnesota. And I think that they probably pull the starters at some point. So not playing Justin Jefferson. I think Jamar Chase is the best wide receiver play on the slate. You're probably playing him in cash over Diggs. Just more upside at this point in the season with Jamar Chase, in my opinion. And then other wide receivers that I would consider as tournament pivots, I guess AJ Brown looks okay. Probably want to go to the Dallas guys. I mean, the Dallas guys opened up on books super low, just in terms of their props, and there's some benching upside there. Mid game, I guess the real contrarian play is like Tyreek Hill, because that's a must-win game for Miami. Yeah,
no, I mean, you're totally right about that. I guess I didn't even consider Tyreek Hill. Like theory wise, that makes a lot of sense. I guess I like that for tournaments. I kind of think the Dolphins get smothered though tomorrow. I think that, I don't know. I think that they had their chance and they missed it, to be honest, as far as the season goes. We'll see about that though. Tyreek definitely has the upside to smash in any matchup. So I like that. And Jamar Chase to me is the cash game wide receiver. I think that you do play him in cash. He's had double-digit targets in every game except for 3 this season, which is just nuts to think about. It's a good matchup. Baltimore is weak on defense in the secondary, and this is a must-win game for Cincinnati. Like, God, Jamar Chase is such a high floor, high ceiling option here. I love him this week. For tournaments, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are both projecting under 10%, despite Jalen Hurts being the highest owned quarterback on the slate. That doesn't make too much sense to me. I could see their ownership getting steamed as people, look to stack Jalen Hurts in tournaments, but I don't think they get out of control just because Diggs, Chase, and even Jefferson look like they're going to be higher owned, and you can't fit that many guys at that price range. So I really love them for tournaments. Like Jalen Hurts doubles or even a skinny stack looks really, really strong to me this week. And this mid-range is atrocious. Like T. Higgins is a good play for sure. He's a good pivot off of Jamar Chase for like 800 less. You're going to get an ownership discount as well. I think that makes a lot of sense. But once you start like sorting through the mid-range lower than T. Higgins, like all these guys are fades. Mike Evans, Waddle, Godwin, Keenan, like they're not even going to be playing. Ayuk, Mike Williams, like these are just bad plays in my opinion. So I think you're kind of skipping down to like the bottom of the 6K range, mid 5K range, looking for other plays that you can go to. I like Deebo Samuel this week at 6K, but like you said, there's benching risk with San Francisco. Who do you like in this range?
I mean, the clear cut tournament play in this range, I mean, is easily DK Metcalf.
Okay.
Like the Seahawks have something to play for. He already lit up the Rams one time this year. In their first game, if I could find it here. Yeah, 8 for 127 and 1, 29 points. His best game of the season was against the same team. They have to win this game. DK Metcalf, I mean, it is clear cut the best tournament wide receiver on the slate, in my opinion.
I like that one quite a bit. I have a call here. All right. My favorite tournament option in this range is none other than Amari Cooper. There's been talk that they want to get him his record here. He would set a career high in receiving with 80 yards. The offensive coordinator said that they want to get him this milestone for his benchmark. He said, quote, "Of course, I would be lying if I said I wasn't," when asked if he was thinking about this. You don't work real hard in the offseason and preseason to get worse. Yeah, it's something that is very important to me. So, I mean, this is a game that doesn't mean anything for Cleveland, but they've still been playing hard. They want to prove themselves right with the Deshaun Watson acquisition. I think it means a lot to the team to go out on a high note and show that they've made some positive changes. Cooper's had a really, really good year this season. And I think it correlates directly with Najee Harris, and the Steelers are bad at defending wide receivers, one of the worst in the league. So I think in terms of tournaments, running like a 2-pick correlation between Amari Cooper and Najee Harris is something I'm super interested in doing. I've got that as a slip on Prize Picks with Amari Cooper's receiving over and Najee Harris rushing over. I think it makes a ton of sense. Like that's a correlation play that I've got for props, and I love it for DFS as well.
Yeah, I like the Amari Cooper call, and I do like his over on Prize Picks at 60.5 as well.
Yep. DJ Moore also in this range, I think is interesting. He's close to getting 1,000 yards. Not like close, but close enough, and he's had 3 touchdowns over the last 3 weeks. He's been super consistent down this stretch. Again, neither of these two teams are playing for anything, but neither of them I think are giving us any signs that they're going to like be benching players or anything like that. Like they haven't been playing for anything for a minute now. So I think it makes sense that both of these teams play full throttle here.
Yeah, I mean, just 2 obviously dead teams just playing for pride, and obviously they're going to play hard, and maybe they go deeper in their bench and see what they have in maybe some of the younger guys on their team. But these are 2 teams where I expect all the players to play the full game. So DJ Moore at 6,100, I think is one of the better plays on the slate for sure.
So these are all tournament options, right? Like outside of Chase and Diggs, who we considered for cash, like so far we haven't really talked about any other wide receivers that are cash game viable. The cash guys are really in the cheap range. I think you're paying up for one expensive wide receiver, and then you're looking for value at the wide receiver position. Some guys that stand out to me sub 5K that I think are going to be popular and viable for cash games would be Drake London, 4,900. He's projecting really well. He's had an elite target share since Desmond Ridder took over, 8+ targets in 4 straight games, double digit in 2 of those. Cortland Sutton at 4,800. Again, just going into the Denver stuff. Sutton projects well, and the Chargers are going to rest a bunch of key players. So he's just way, way too underpriced for his talent and upside. And Rashid Shaheed as well, who we talked about on the Thursday podcast at 4,200. This he's not going to get there from a volume perspective, but he's been making big plays for several weeks in a row now. And so those are the 3 guys that I think are the most cash viable. I think you're probably picking 2 of those guys. So how do you feel about this tier of players? Who do you like? Who you fade?
I mean, I like Shaheed. Obviously, they might have found like a nice wide receiver too in Shaheed, and he's relatively cheap. So I think he's in cash game consideration. Sutton looks good at 4.8K. I definitely think that you can go that route in cash with the Broncos starters still going to play, even though they have nothing to play for, and the volume should be there, quite frankly. Jacoby Myers, if he plays it, is okay. Jonnu Smith has been ruled out. We know if Jacoby Myers is healthy, he's going to be a target hog, quite frankly. So I think that's okay. Other than that, there's not really anybody else that I would consider in this tier. Drake London is cool, but obviously the Falcons can go super run heavy at any given moment, and that just limits Drake London's overall ceiling, but his floor is pretty high, I would say, in this spot. So I think it's fine.
Yeah. Is there anybody else that we're interested in here for cash games or tournaments? Like, I'm not really seeing too much that's getting me going here at the low end.
Yeah.
In Tyquan Thornton, question mark. He had 7 targets, 60 yards, and a touchdown last week. He was starting to look pretty decent.
I mean, you got your Greg Dortches, your DeAndre Carters. Carter should come into a ton of opportunity, especially if the Chargers guy sits. And I've heard somebody say that he's got some incentives as well that he could potentially hit.
I could pull that up if you give me a minute.
And then other than that, there's really nobody else that I would consider. Tutu Atwell is garnering some steam at 3,400. Obviously, I mean, upside super low with Tutu at this point, but 4.3K every down player in Tutu, I think it's okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's okay as well. Kind of plays into my Rams theories as well. DeAndre Carter, 2 more receptions will earn him 100,000. 55 yards will earn him another 100,000. 2 touchdowns will earn him another 100,000. Obviously, the 2 touchdown one is pretty thin, but he can easily get 2 catches and 55 yards in this spot for another 200 bands. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense, especially with Keenan and Mike Will very unlikely to play deep into this game.
Yeah, so Dortch and Carter would be the pivots at the low end for me.
All right, moving on to the tight end position. I mean, this is a week where it's pretty hard to stone cold punt it off. I think a lot of the popularity is going to be sort of in the top of the 3Ks, low end of the 4Ks. Pat Freiermuth currently projecting to be the highest owned tight end on the slate at 3,800. Is that where we would go in cash?
I mean, no, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Glad you said that.
I think Hunter Henry's a better play. I think Albert O at 2,900 is a better play. And I think ultimately you could just pay down this week and just punt the position. Like fading Freiermuth isn't going to kill you. The upside with the Steelers offense in general is just super low. And obviously the matchup for the Steelers this week is on the ground. So Freiermuth is okay, but he's definitely not a must.
The 2 other guys in that range that are going to be popular would be Goddard and Higbee. Any interest there?
I get Higbee. Higbee's a little bit interesting.
It's a smash spot. I mean, the Titans get absolutely obliterated by tight ends.
Yeah, but Yeah, for sure. And then Higbee obviously has like I think a higher ceiling than some of these other tight ends as well. As I just had it on the screen, like he has 30 balls in his range, where I don't think that's in Everett or Dawson Knox or Fryermuth's range, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind Higbee at all. Like you said, smash spot, best spot on the slate for tight ends, and the Rams are going to be playing this game out with their starters. So I think he's a nice pivot.
Yep, I like Goddard as well, 4,900. You really can't pay up too highly for tight end on this slate. You know, Kelsey already played today. George Kittle is 6K, and the 49ers are not likely to play this entire game the whole way through. TJ Hawkinson, we have the same concerns about the Minnesota Vikings playing time. So, like, if you're paying up, you're going to Goddard at 49 or Mark Andrews at 54. And I kind of like both of those plays. Goddard to me makes a lot of sense. He's going to have some ownership, but I think you could play him with Jalen Hurts in tournaments. Too expensive for me in cash games. I think Andrews, and in that same game, Hayden Hurst at 3,100 as a pay down option. Both tight ends in the Ravens and Bengals game are interesting to me.
Yeah, I like Hayden Hurst quite a bit this week at 3.1. He's also in consideration as a pay down tight end, and I think Otten is as well. Like there's just a ton of options. We talked about it on the pod. Otten, like he's a starter, but like he's a rookie tight end. I don't think he's gonna get like veteran rest treatment in this game. So yeah, the cheap tight ends in my opinion are just pretty solid this week, and I would just play one of these guys.
Yep, that looks good to me. Anybody else at tight end we need to shout out?
Juwan Johnson for sure.
The king.
Yeah, he's been one of the best, like under the radar fantasy tight ends this whole season. Started out obviously pretty mediocre-ish, couple 6-point games, couple 8-point games, but hit a stride, 20, 12, 15, 13, 22, 11.
Yeah.
And
I think he's legit good.
Yeah, no, I think he's really good as well. And he's just an athletic tight end. And, moving forward, the Saints core is going to be, Chris Olave, Juwan Johnson, Rashid Shaheed. And that's a nice young trio to have, to be honest.
Definitely. We could build out a team. Kind of ran through that.
Yeah, I mean, just obviously not many players in the pool. It's that simple. There's going to be a ton of horrible games. Going to be 0 games that I'm interested in watching tomorrow. Even the Patriots-Bills game, have no interest in that at all. Because we're obviously just going to get fucking ran through.
You have no interest in it. You're not going to watch the games. You're not putting props on.
No, I mean I'm going to have props. I'm not really playing much DFS if at all. This slate is fucking dog shit. But you obviously got to have props. You got to have some prize picks going. That's a must.
That's the only thing that matters these days.
And my fucking dude just had his shot blocked.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Damn.
They blocking my dude's shots. Why?
I don't know, bro. Is it a cold streak for you lately in hockey?
I mean, I hit a 4-legger 2 days ago for 100.
Nice. Not the 4-legger I tailed you on, because I put that shit in as a flex and it still didn't hit.
But yeah, I got Nathan McKinnon going right now. He just missed 2 shots back to back. So yeah, GG's. And then I got another hockey player going. They're in the same game. I both took them over. But Nathan McKinnon just got his 3rd shot on goal in the first period. I have him over 4.5. And he has 3 in the first 14 minutes of the game with 2 missed shots. So he's shot 5 times already. I mean, if everybody watching, if y'all ain't in the Discord telling the hockey, like, you're missing out on free coin.
Oh, I mean, the Discord's like 5x in terms of like membership since we started doing prize picks content on YouTube.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of sharp action in there.
I mean, we get all the plays in good, and then We just
They
lose.
saw, yeah. I mean, but what else can you do? You just got to get it in good.
Put yourself in the position to win, and then just get fucked by everything just going the complete opposite direction. But you never know. I'm my sixth pick is still alive. My sixth pick for everybody. If you've been watching since the beginning, I got a little six pick going in this Titans game. I need Burks and Ingram at this point. Burks and Ingram for 6 leg cash.
Random question. Does Kenny Galladay play a bunch of snaps tomorrow?
You think 76 catches is in play?
No, I don't think 76 catches is in play, but he's 3K. Like, this dude's the min price. And if they're resting their starters, right? Like, we know Saquon's like not going to play, or if he plays, he'll barely play. It's like, who do we bring back with our Eagles stacks? That's what I want to know. I'm not playing Gary Brightwell. It's like Slayton, Hodgins, and Richie James are basically all every snap players at this point. So it's like, do they all sit? Do 2 of them sit? Like, they've only got 5 active receivers, like Marcus Johnson and Kenny Galladay, both min price, or the other 2. Like, who gets some usage here? Who can I punt it off with for the Giants? Dude, Kenny Galladay played 11% of snaps last week. He's been under 20% in 4 straight weeks.
Nah. You just fade the Giants.
So you play it naked? I think it's Marcus, like Eagles stacks.
Yeah, no, you're really not bringing you're not bringing any stack back this week.
That makes sense.
I mean, you're just trying to jam in as many players that are going to play the full game in tournaments.
Yeah, no, I mean, that does make sense. Josh says thoughts on Ritter 4.9K. I mean, I don't love it, to be honest. I guess I could see it. It's good leverage off of Algier chalk, but in that same token, like, who are you stacking him with? Like, you're going to play Drake London into chalk. Like, I don't know what you're getting out of it. I feel like you can get all of your upside from Ritter through Drake London, and that's limited upside at best.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. There's really not many quarterbacks you should have in your player pool besides like Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Geno. I mean, Geno, DK. I think that's probably the best tournament stack outside of the top guys. Geno to DK, maybe include Lockett in there, or a cheap tight end. And then you could bring it back with like Cam Akers or one of the Rams because they're all going to play right. And that's a game where both teams are going to play all of their starters.
Yep.
So
totally agree with that.
Geno at 6K, DK Metcalf at 65 or what is it, or 67. Tyler Lockett, where the fuck is Tyler Lockett at?
He's like
he's 6.4.
6. Oh shit, 6.4. God damn.
We got Noah Fan at.
He's cheap.
Noah Fan's 3.5. So you got some cheap Seahawks options. That's the stack to play.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Or Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I like Russ, actually. I like Russ doubles with like Sutton and Alberto. DeAndre Carter on the bring back. Fucking jam Chase, jam Diggs, jam anybody you want. It's going to be hard to like play a full salary this week. Maybe that's the leverage, is you leave 10K on the board and just play all these scrubs.
Yeah, maybe.
Happened a few weeks ago. I think that was like a showdown slate when someone left like 13, 14K on the board.
I mean, they were just a time traveler.
Yeah,
that's
clearly.
all that was.
It's the only reasonable explanation. I don't know. What do we do here? Usually we're at like an hour 20, but we're at 40 minutes and we've gone through everything.
I mean, yeah, just not much to talk about when, like I said, we go through these games real quick, right? Tampa Bay is playing backup. So I guess like really the optimal strategy is go through and figure out what the backups are and hope that they come in and play. Like play Tyler Johnson for the Bucks.
Yeah. No, I mean, you could Scotty Miller, something like that.
Yeah, Scotty Miller, Perryman, Shit like that. That's the way that you win, probably. I mean, I am not going through and doing all that personally,
Yeah.
because that's a lot. But like Vikings have potential to pull starters. You might get a half a game out of the Vikings. Bears obviously already dead, resting all of their guys. Baltimore, Cincinnati looks okay, but no Lamar for Baltimore. That's whatever. So Cincinnati's one of the best stack. Houston, Indy. I mean, if you play anybody from that game, just
Chalk it up. Just
reevaluate.
hit me up, DM me on Twitter. I'll send you my PayPal. It'd be a better use of your money.
Yeah. Jets, Dolphins. I mean, Jets are starting Joe Flacco. And Miami starting Skylar Thompson. This game is dog shit. New Orleans, Carolina, that looks okay. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, guess that's okay. Giants, resting starters. Philly could pull starters after they're up by 40 in the second quarter. Dallas could pull starters because if Philly's up big, they'll probably just pull. Washington playing backups. Chargers playing backups. Denver playing their starters. Arizona backups. San Francisco probably will pull their starters halfway through. Rams playing their starters. Seahawks playing their starters.
What an atrocious slate, man.
Yeah, I mean, this shit is horrible. But it's to be expected. It's week 18, but
yeah,
I feel like there's just a lot of not much can change. And in the seeding, I mean, for some teams really doesn't matter. Like if you're the 2 or the 3 seed, like I mean, for the Vikings, like the Vikings are getting bounced round 1 either way.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole fact. That is a whole fact.
What's going on in this fucking Jags game?
It is 16-13 with like 9 minutes left. And I really need the Jags to do something.
I think Evan Ingram just got a catch. Evan Ingram got a 9-yard catch. Okay. Not bad. Deep ball to Marvin Jones, incomplete. 4th and 10.
Bro, Trevor's going to sell me, huh?
They're down 16-13 to the Josh Dobb led Titans.
Could we get some Trevor magic, please? Please, God. One time. Dude, Trevor's not going to hit any of his props. I had passing yards. I had fantasy score. I had passing touchdowns. And he's about to miss all 3. Who'd have thunk? Patrick Mahomes missed. He was at 290.5, got bumped to like 320, got crazy value on that. Opens up first fucking play, 67-yard pass, still misses his fucking passing line. Jarrett Stidham, negative game script the entire game, slinging the ball, misses by like 5 yards on his OG line. Just such a tragic day.
Yeah, truly tragic. I can pull up my prize picks if we want to talk. We could talk about some prize picks for tomorrow.
Sure.
Nobody cares about this DFS shit. To be honest. All right. Let's get need some more comments.
We need to put together a banging 6-pick slip to close this stream out. Like that, like, come on. We've been doing 18 weeks of this stream. Let's give the people a 25x winner.
That was horrible.
What happened?
I tried to hedge like a pussy and I fucked up the hedge. Jesus. I put in the same slip twice.
That's what you get for trying to hedge.
I meant to do less and more.
But you did less and more twice.
Yeah. Look at all these losers. Oh, well, yeah, this one is still live. This is the one that is still live technically. Would need a big like Burks play, big Ingram play, and Dobbs is 20-ish yards away.
You need a quick Titans 3 and out, a Jags drive where Ingram gets his yardage, and then Burks to close the game out.
Still could hit a 5 out of 6 on this slip. Really just need Ingram at this point. Henry's right there. This got fucking chalked because I took Kelsey touchdown. I really thought Kelsey was going to score today.
Yeah.
That
I really thought Henry was going to score today. Guess he
That's-
still could, but
yeah.
damn,
Nathan
that's a hard L
McKinnon
right
missed
there.
shot.
You about to go 0 for 4.
Yeah, I mean Jarrett Stidham had it, but then he fumbled with 17 seconds left in the first half. Obviously, probably wouldn't matter. All right, let's get a big Traylon. If we get a big Traylon Burks catch, I'm super live. This one, and then this is the 4. This is the 4 leg I put in this morning.
Sebastian, my guy.
With Kirk, McKinnon. It's probably, I mean, McKinnon's gonna hit. I could confidently say that with them losing. So just sweating this for 200, and I fucked up the hedge. I meant to do less on Nurse because he was juiced to start the day and then kept on going down. He's on a 9-game streak of going over 2.5. 9 games. Will he make it 10 in a row? Probably not. So Dobbs, 5-yard run. Derrick Henry, 2-yard run. Derrick Henry's at 87 yards.
Pretty close to that prop.
All right. Any passing yards you like for tomorrow?
Let me take a look here. Passing yards. I don't mind Burrow. I need to look at some stuff here. I haven't really looked at the slate too much. I was really focused on it today, so a little behind on my prize picks research for the night.
Titans got the first down. Solid.
For passing yards. I mean, the one that I kind of like is like I almost was able to get this this off earlier with the Dak Prescott under, which was just crazy because his FanDuel line was like 60 yards lower than his prize picks line. I got it in one slip and I tried to get it in another, but it got pulled before. But I had Joe Burrow correlated with Jamar Chase, both overs in that slip that I failed to get in. I kind of like those. That's really all I like for passing, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at projections.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is projected for 234 right now. So, I mean, 14 yards. It's okay. I think the best one available right now with the projections that I'm looking at would be Geno Smith over 235.5. They have him projected for 256.2, which is the 7th most out of every quarterback on the Week 18 slate. Stu Burks can't fucking catch the ball, bro.
Mac Jones' line on Pinnacle is 230. Well, I mean, that's kind of interesting. Getting 10 yards of value there. But yeah, I like the Geno one. Take a look at the Seahawks receivers, see what we're looking at, if there's anything good that correlates there. I mean, barely. These lines are pretty good from what I'm seeing. See what the odds say here. We got Rams game. DK Metcalf minus 113 to go over 69.5. His line on prize picks is a little lower than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we probably just
65.5.
We probably just pair DK with Geno Smith. A lot of these lines look pretty tight. I mean, it's like 8 yards on like Diggs ish. We'll just say Nathan McKinnon. Oh wait. What did the big dog just do?
I don't know.
He's at 99 yards. He hit his prop. 28 carries for 99 yards. Jesus Christ.
Projections wise, like the best stuff on the board right now, like Geno is definitely there. Brock Purdy is popping, but I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all. He could get pulled for sure. Miles Sanders rushing yard. There's like a 17-yard discrepancy between his projection. That's pretty big. One of the biggest on the slate.
Yeah, Geno Smith up there, Joe Flacco, Baker, Miles Sanders.
I think the Sanders line might be good.
Sanders line definitely looks good for sure.
I mean, they're fucking 16.5-point favorites. He doesn't have a line out on Pinnacle, so that might be why it's so wrong. Unless I'm gonna check DraftKings, but
Jags defensive touchdown.
Are you dead ass right now? Oh my god, dude. Oh my fucking god. That's so chalked.
It looked good. It looked like a good touchdown too.
I'm like a play behind. I'm about to see it here. That's truly.
Could see. I'll see. I'll let you know. Nah, that's a fumble. 100%. It's just the ball went forward.
Yeah.
But that's a fumble.
Yeah, so honestly.
Actually, no. That might be coming back. Actually. He had a couple fingers on it. But we'll see.
Looking up. Yeah, so I just want to preemptively let the people know to take the Sanders line because the projections have him for significantly higher and he doesn't have a prop available, which means that he's set up really well to be a value prop. As soon as like the books put his prop out, if it's up to like 75 or 80, which is where the projection is, the shit's getting bumped. I think it's pretty likely that happens. So I'm going to make sure I get this in.
Confirmed touchdown.
All right.
They're up 20-16.
Props are definitely chalked, but yeah, Kwasi in the chat said it for sure. I'm banging out some drafters $3 tourneys tonight. I totally feel that. I mean, that's the only upside here is I have a ton of Jags exposure in that tournament, so I'll take the Jags getting into the playoffs for sure.
I think we throw.
Could we get the Najee Cooper correlation in here?
I mean, I'm definitely not betting on Najee Harris. You're out of your goddamn mind. I'm not betting on Najee Harris at one of his highest rushing lines of the season.
No, bro. No. You don't take the rushing. You take the fantasy score.
What's his fantasy score?
14.5. He's hitting that.
He ain't hitting that, bro.
And if you don't like
Amari
that,
Cooper in.
And if you don't like that, then you take the Najee catches.
What's Najee catches at?
It's a 2.
2?
2 measly catches. He's minus 202 to get over 1.5. So you might get the push if you run bad. But I mean, he's minus 202 to at least push this line. Like, it's a good fucking line. It's probably my favorite of all of them.
All right, I'll put it in.
Other than that, like
Amari Cooper's projected for 66.7 yards, so that looks okay.
I think his. Am I tripping here?
Got a good run out for this Jags game, though. I need Burks. I need Dobbs to fucking have a legacy drive where he goes down and scores. And then Burks hit his prop. And then Trevor Lawrence to have a legacy drive on the bring back and tie it up and go into OT. That's what I need to happen.
I don't know about that.
Dobbs, 10-yard run. You never know. It could happen. What do I need?
It could definitely happen.
I'm such a fucking bozo. Still need some. I need 18 Burks yards, and that would pretty much put Dobbs over as well. So Gino. Nah, this is where Derrick Henry gets his touchdown.
I would take that. I would take that in a heartbeat.
I mean, do we pair Deshaun Watson in passing yards? Oh, wait.
What's it at?
Oh, wait. No, there's not even a lineup.
They don't even have that, really? It was up early. They must have taken it down.
They don't even have that up. They don't have much up, to be honest. Fucking Traylon Burks. Get a fucking catch, my guy.
I mean, I like the Jamar Chase line still. I like Mac Jones. I like...
Projections don't love that Chase line.
I know they don't.
What's he at? I mean, no, I mean 87. It's a little bit lower on books. Any first half bets potentially?
First half.
They have Deshaun Watson first half up, but they don't have his full game up.
Interesting.
That could be a spot to maybe capitalize.
I mean, 98 yards. Could he throw 98 yards in the first half?
I mean, it's going in the slip.
That could easily hit.
That's going in the slip. 98? You're telling me he can't throw 98 yards in the first half?
He's got to be able to do that, right?
He's got to end. They got to end the season on a positive note. And Washington just bled the clock last game. Maybe the Steelers do the same. I mean, I don't mind it, but it's probably not that good of a bet.
Am I on one for thinking that Kenneth Walker 13.5 fantasy score is stupid low?
I mean,
I guess it correlates kind of negatively with
Gino.
But I mean, Gino, yeah, you're right. Not in this slip, but goddamn, 13.5. He's projected for like 17.
Should we be savages and take CMC unders?
I kind of like that.
The spot to capitalize on is the spots where we think like starters come out.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, PrizePicks has done a pretty good job.
I mean, they're just not putting a lot of stuff up, you know?
Yeah. We might get more.
Should definitely get some more. I mean... A lot of ugly ass games and lines, like...
I mean, I like these 4 props.
Yeah, me too.
Probably lock this in as a 4-leg. Unless we just throw...
Well, you didn't play Metcalf in that, right?
No, I could put him in there. He's only projected a little bit over 65. But it correlates well. Then we could do like Diggs or Chase.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, I like both of those.
Or we just go under on Tyreek.
Yeah, I mean, Chase is at 6.5 receptions. He's gone over that in 5 straight. But I kind of like the receiving yards with a big play receiver like that.
Let's go through all these other categories, see what's up. Who's kicking 2 field goals? I feel like
Bro, they don't even have the kickers up, dog. They're being stingy with the props this week.
Anybody throwing a pick?
I mean, we got a Flacco pick. We got a Mac Jones pick. Mac Jones is actually pretty safe with the ball, though.
Yeah. He just chucks it out of bounds.
Yeah. Goff ain't throwing a pick. Goff doesn't throw picks. Baker could throw a pick easily. Josh could throw a pick easily. I mean, Josh, right? Patriots got some ball hawks, even though they can't really stop shit. They got ball hawks.
True.
I don't know. I'm not betting against the Bills in this spot at all.
I need one more play. Go back to J.K. Dobbins. I mean,
good.
56.5 is low.
Bengals have an elite run defense, though.
I mean, J.K. Dobbins is elite.
Elite.
You didn't know.
He's elite.
This dude averages like 15 yards a carry. Well, the Jags are looking like they're going to be the AFC South champions.
Yeah. Jonathan Williams, 59.5 rushing yards.
3rd and 20. That was definitely on the defense.
I got the prop for you. I found the free prop.
That shit ain't hitting, but what is it?
You're going to go to the pass rush receiving touchdowns category, and you're going to plug Jamal Williams in the revenge game of all revenge games to fucking make it to the playoffs.
I'll tell you right now, he's not scoring.
He's the touchdown leader in the NFL, bro, at the running back position. Against a bad Packers team.
He's not scoring.
You're gonna
whenever I bet a touchdown play,
goal.
whenever I bet a touchdown prop on Prize Picks, that shit does not hit. I don't think I've ever hit one. Dead ass.
You haven't hit one? I've hit a couple since they started doing the combo ones, but
no, I haven't hit one. I had Kelsey and Henry today. Kelsey had 2 catches inside the 2-yard line.
Yeah, but that's on you because that got boosted on DraftKings.
Oh, my bad.
So you should have known to not touch that.
Yeah, that's on me.
No, I mean, the best props that you haven't included, I think, are like Mac Jones and
Baker.
Baker, yeah.
What's Baker projected for? 4th and 13 for all the marbles.
Give us some gameplay commentary. Give us some color commentary.
Drops back, 5-step drop. He checks it down 15 yards behind the first down, and he gets tackled, and they lose the division. Jags win. That's how it would sound on TV. Like, why are you checking it down on 4th and 13? You need a first. What are we doing here, bro? Jags officially in the playoffs.
Love to see it.
We'll go
Love
Baker.
to see it. That's the prop that you want to give the people.
That's a slit.
It's a good slit. It's a banging slit.
Shit ain't hitting, but
I think the first 4 legs hit.
Damn, Dobbs still went under, huh?
Of course.
Boy had 158 with like the whole quarter left. Decided he thought he was fucking prime Lamar.
He wishes. All right, man.
God damn. Yeah.
We've
About that time.
talked about the slate to its absolute fullest. We gave you guys a 6-pig smash on Prize Picks. What else can we do? And what else is there to do?
Not much.
Not much. You know, we stayed through the end of the game. Jags to the playoffs. Who wins in that first game, Jags or Chargers?
Jags.
Think so?
Yeah, Jags win.
That's a tough one because it's like the Chargers they're just ready to disappoint. They wake up every Sunday and they're like, all right, how could we disappoint this week?
The Patriots can still get into the playoffs, even if they lose.
Yeah.
Be the worst playoff team in the history of the NFL, but
quite possible. All right, man. Listen, shout out to everybody who tuned in. Viewership was down this week. I don't blame you guys. This is a horrible slate. I wouldn't want to be thinking about this slate either. I barely want to be thinking about this slate right now, but that's what we do. So think about these slates. We talk them through, and hopefully you guys gain something from it. The real action is going to be in the Discord tomorrow. If you haven't joined that, find it. Link is in the description to this video. We're going to be fine-tuning these Prize Pick slips. I think we get some more props available to us in between now and kickoff tomorrow. So we'll be brainstorming, up until trying to find the best lines for the people. So make sure you guys check that stuff out. We'll be back with NFL DFS playoff content throughout the duration of the playoffs. We'll be talking props all the way up until the Super Bowl. Of course, closing with the coveted Super Bowl betting show where we fucking smashed 9 out of 10 last year, went absolutely nuclear on the Super Bowl, and I'm sure we'll do it again. But until then, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. Hope you guys make some money this week, and we'll talk to you throughout the playoffs, and have a great rest.